The building.
Okay.
They're not saying anything.
I want to call to order the regular board meeting for Greeneview Local Schools for February 15th, 2024. Please follow me.
We have to swear her in first, so we're gonna do the pledge of allegiance first.
Okay, great. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know what I like to.
You know, they're not.
Yeah, might as well say that.
For newly appointed board member, Jessica Connor.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as a board member of the Greeneview Local School District, Greene County, Ohio, to the best of your ability, and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in office and until your successor is elected and qualified? If so, answer I do.
I do. Let's call the roll.
Suzanne Arthur,
Here.
Chris Bailey,
Here.
Jesse Connor,
Here.
Scott Powers,
Present.
Megan Smith.
Here.
We have a quorum.
At this time, I'd like to extend an invitation for public participation on agenda items only. Anybody want to speak on that? Okay, good. Next, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Moved.
Second.
Mrs. Arthur,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mrs. Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Agenda item 2, presentation, none. Agenda item 3, treasurer's report. Approve the meeting minutes of the annual tax budget hearing organizational meeting, January 11th, 2024. B, approve the minutes of the regular board meeting, January 11th, 2024. C, approve the January financial reports. D, approve January month-end advances. E, approve amended appropriations for January 2024. F, approve the following donations. $235 from Gregory and Constance Van Zant to the Terry Pickering Memorial Scholarship Fund. $1,000 from Kenneth or Lori Hoprich to the Kennedy Hoprich Scholarship Fund. $300 from Rudolph and Lona Taylor to the Sierra Green Scholarship Fund. $300 from Greeneview Middle School PTO to the PTO Scholarship Fund. Silverware plates, cups, and napkins from Nick Epifano for the community dinner on February 21st. G, approval of the bus purchase bids through EPC. H, approved treasurer's report A through G as presented.
Move.
Second.
How many buses we getting?
2. We wanted to get them ordered now since the ones we ordered back in January aren't even going to be coming in until this coming June or July, so
Is that up front or at delivery?
at delivery.
Next year.
Yes,
Okay.
but we had to get the bids approved on the board agenda for the EPC, so.
Gotcha.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mrs. Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
and Mrs. Arthur.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Agenda item 4, superintendent's update. A, teaching and learning. B, facility. C, operations.
I'm gonna switch up the order and I'll switch operations and facilities this evening. From a teaching and learning perspective, we had professional learning on our early release day last week. Our elementary schools worked in grade level teams and talked about how they're going to learn from and structure literacy modeling sections. Our middle school focused on goal setting, gathering data on instructional strategies, and also had content meetings. The high school had content meetings as well, and they also had book study opportunities that teachers can be a part of. Our math adoption selection is winding down. We're getting there. We're coming to a close. We'll likely be able to provide some professional learning on the March 8th professional learning day. And then if we don't get all of it in on the 8th, we'll be able to come back around and finish it up before teachers go home for the summer. And again, that's big work. That's a K-12 math adoption. Our literacy professional learning planning is ongoing. We've talked a lot about how at the elementary level, the grades pre-K through 3 in our elementary, they participated in literacy professional learning. Next year, it's the 4 through 12 grades turn. We're actually still waiting for what that professional look like is supposed to look like coming out of the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. So it's a little bit of a moving target, but we can still start planning for professional learning. Actually, the calendar is on the agenda tonight for the next 2 years. So at least we know when our professional learning time and we can start planning for it. The elementary held their family literacy night on Tuesday, just this Tuesday, and they continue with their Read for Me program. It's in full swing, continuing to train volunteers who are coming into the classroom. As you know, the DLT is focusing on goal 3, which is about implementing systems of support to promote positive school climate and foster students' readiness to learn. As part of that work, I know you know that we're implementing Character Strong, again, a K-12 program that really focuses on student social awareness skills, their relationship skills, responsible decision-making, and topics of that sort. But we as staff too can benefit from that. Last spring, before the implementation, we did survey number 1, I'll call it, that really examined our core educational beliefs. So that helps us as we implemented to kind of understand our beliefs and any gaps there might be in our actions. And then there was also an implementation survey around October that demonstrated that almost universally the implementation was strong. And finally, survey number 3, which just went out, I think, a week ago, is going to gather information about perceptions and feelings about one's experiences at their school. So kind of like the culture survey. I'm also going to give the same survey to the cabinet, to our administrative team, so that they can also participate even at a district level on how I might be able to use that information to inform greater sense of belonging, appreciation, and well-being. So big work happening there too. To celebrate the students of the month and students of the quarter for the second quarter at the middle school, for the month of November, I'd like to honor from 4th grade students of the month, Landry Lemley, McKinley Darren, Mackenzie Davis, and Josh Criswell. For the month of December, 4th grade was Caden Brooks, 5th grade is Bella Linkart, 6th grade Liam Linville, and 7th grade Abigail Beckley. At the high school, students of the quarter, 8th grade Cooper Guss, 9th grade Lily Hendricks, 10th grade Brody Day, 11th grade Addie Gill, and 12th grade Emma Hassett. From an operations standpoint, Mrs. Fisher and I have joined the Jamestown area of commerce representing Greeneview schools. The area chamber of commerce will be a great way for us to connect with the community, and really just the idea of our entire community working smarter together and not harder when it comes to community initiatives. In safety and security, we're working on the process of well-defining our lockdown procedures, the different types of lockdowns, and then how we drill for that and then communicate to our families. Tonight on the agenda also, I'll be asking your approval for a contract with Pepsi. We have done our homework and have reached out to Coke to see if they could not provide for us a better proposal. They could not. In fact, they could not come close. So we really feel like the Pepsi proposal, although we're not super thrilled about it, is the best that we could find. We'll be using a calamity day on April 8th due to the solar eclipse out of precaution. And we'll also be purchasing glasses for all of our students and all of our staff so they can view it safely. Inga and I continue to meet weekly with Neola, our policy representatives, to update our policies. We are grinding through, I don't know, maybe 2/3 through, or 3/4 through. So we meet weekly doing that. Tonight, also on the board agenda for your approval, I'll be asking you to approve the E-rate Category 2 contract with Moveca for a wireless equipment upgrade at the middle school. So we benefit from a 70% discount through E-rate on all qualifying products and services. Each year, we have the opportunity to seek approval for such projects on what we call Category 1 and Category 2 services. Applications for Category 1 services are things like internet, And category 2 are more about access points and switches. So it's simply the middle school's turn to get their upgrade with category 2 access points, switches, and new equipment. Facilities. So, one of the issues that I've repeatedly had, since the first arrival here in the district, was not just our HVAC system, but the separate piece of that was the controls, like the actual programming of our HVAC systems in all 3 buildings. So this week on Tuesday, we had a representative out from REAP who really spent time looking at all of our controls at each of the 3 buildings. And I am excited to share with you that he's been able to address and attend to almost 80% of those control issues. So it's really been a long time coming, regardless of the reason, whether it's an installation or just different hands in the problem solving. So that feels good that we're able to really, move forward with that. So it's a huge step, and we'll continue to make progress, again, diagnosing and fixing the issues as opposed to just being responsive to the problem. So that was a big moment this week for us. I think it was the last board meeting, and Mayor Bradley presented to us the sidewalk project. So we're still waiting to hear if that project is going to be approved. And then, you'll remember as like, if it is approved, then we have to talk about the percentage, that 10% that's left over and between the village and Silver Creek and us, what that looks like to see if we'll be able to move forward. So time will tell. We're waiting to hear if the grant project is approved. Tonight on the board agenda, also asking you to approve a resolution authorizing the execution of design services with SHP for the high school vestibule project. This might be a real time crunch, but to make sure that we upgrade and improve what the vestibule, it's a mouthful, should be in the front of the high school. I'll be honest with you, if we can't get that project done by the start of the next school year, we might hold off. So right now we're just kind of in the process of, can we get the design done? And can we move forward and get that done before the start of the school year? If we cannot, we might pump the brakes, but I wanted to get the resolution on and ready to go. We do have permanent improvement funds to fund it, and it's just one of those safety and security items that I just don't want to wait on. The district is hosting a community dinner, as I'm sure you're all aware, and we have advertised at the elementary next Wednesday on February 21st. It starts at 6 o'clock. The menu is chicken and noodles for those inquiring. And then the purpose of the community dinner is to invite our members in the community to the elementary school, not just to enjoy the meal, but so that we can present factual information about the history of Greeneview Elementary. And as such, the event is sponsored and paid for by Greeneview Schools and donations by other community members. We also continue to work on short video clips to clear up misinformation and misunderstandings from the ballot issue in November. 3 video clips have already been posted, and you can expect video number 4 soon. Those videos are really highly informative. They're getting a lot of looks, which is good. And the topics were chosen based on feedback we got back from a survey around the holidays. I can't remember if it was before Christmas or after the holiday break. And then also we've added frequently asked questions to the website related to finance. And just in case, because this is the last board meeting, I believe, before the March 19th ballot issue, we have the combined bond issue permanent improvement levy on the ballot on the 19th. It's 3.1 mils. The PI levy is 0.89 mils, and it'll cost the taxpayer approximately $11.67 per month per $100,000 home. That's just over $140 a year. In combination, the PI levy, what would the PI do? The PI levy would pay off the yearly principal and payments for the certificate of participation debt issued. It would also be contribute to capital improvement projects, maintenance and repairs of property, and any future building needs and projects. For inquiring minds, the last time a bond issue was passed at Greeneview local schools was in 1998 for the construction of Greeneview High School. And since the beginning of that bond issue, the district has refinanced those bonds twice. It has saved the district $500,000 over the course of the bond. Those bonds will fall off in December of 26. And we intend to work with our municipal advisors and our underwriters so that we can defer tax collections on the new bond until the old bond drops off the residents' tax bills. Further. On the board agenda tonight, I am asking you please to consider a 5-year contract for myself as superintendent of schools. I hope that this demonstrates my commitment and the board's commitment to my leadership here at Greeneview Schools. It is a privilege to serve our district and community. There is a promising future before us. And on the topic of contracts, I also look forward to future conversations next year with our classified and our certified staffs. I am hopeful to get an earlier start in 24 and 25 on the topic, as spring and summer can be busy for us. So I just wanted to share that with the board. And finally, I'd like to welcome Ms. Jessie Connor to the Greeneview Board of Education. I believe you have a child in each building.
I do.
Right?
I have one in each
Okay.
building.
And I also know that you, your family, your husband have volunteered a lot of time on a variety of improvement projects for this district. So welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you at the table with us as well.
Happy to be here.
All right. That completes my superintendent's update.
Thank you, Dr. Woodruff. We'll move on to agenda item number 5, new business. A, approve the district calendar for the 2024-2025 school year and 2025-2026 school year. Approve the Ohio High School Athletic Association membership for the 2024-2025 school year. Approve April 8, 2024 as a calamity day as a precautionary measure for the solar eclipse event. D, approve the service contract for PepsiCo Beverage Sales LLC in Greeneview Local Schools, July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2028. The board office will receive $300 in product. E, approve the E-rate category 2 contract with Mveka for wireless equipment upgrade at Greeneview Middle School. F, approve the execution of design resolution with SHP for the Greeneview High School security vestibule project. G, approve new business items A through F as presented.
Move. Second.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mrs. Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Arthur.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Agenda item number 6, personnel. A, approve change in status for Amy Atkins from Masters Plus 15, Step 14 to Masters Plus 30, Step 14 for the 2023-2024 school year, effective retroactively to the January 10, 2024 pay date. B, approve Al Phillips, bus driver, Step 7, effective February 5th, 2024 for the 2023-2024 school year. C, approve Sam Schubert,
I believe so, Subert.
grade 6 intervention specialist, Step 0 for the 2024-2025 school year, contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. D, approve Heather Kasner in the amount of $1,000 to be paid for staff wellness activities from the EPC Wellness Grant. E, approve an unpaid leave of absence for Sarah Nagel for approximately April 5th, 2024 through May 24th, 2024. F, approve an unpaid leave of absence for Olivia Pfeiffer from February 16th, 2024 to April 1st, 2024. G, approve the resignation of Brooklyn Dean, bus driver, effective January 19th, 2024. H, approve the resignation of Della Wydell, grade 6 intervention specialist, effective February 9, 2024. I, approve the following supplementals for high school and middle school coaches for the 2023-2024 school year. Oh boy. John Mark Brooks, head varsity baseball coach. Robert Gibson, head reserve baseball coach. Chris Reno, head varsity softball coach. Matt Simpson, varsity softball assistant coach. Dean Mulkin, head varsity track coach. Hannah Lutz, varsity track assistant coach. Max Mulliken, varsity track assistant coach. Travis Sacker, varsity track assistant coach. Evan Grooms, head varsity boys tennis coach. Jason Litke, varsity assistant boys tennis coach. Saul Mulliken, head middle school track coach. Jim Church, middle school track assistant coach. Andrew Reinhardt, middle school track assistant coach. Ryan Haynes, spring site coordinator. Ryan Haynes, spring strength coach. Ryan Haynes, summer strength coach. Volunteers, Chris Phillips, baseball assistant coach. Michael Polston, baseball assistant coach. Approve the following supplementals for high school for the 2023-2024 school year. Beth Neville, Saturday school. K, approve the following certified substitute teachers for the 2023-2024 school year, contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. Nicole Krause, Jillian Kelsey, Beth Neville, Sam Stubert. L, approve the following classified substitutes for the 2023-2024 school year contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. Van drivers, Paul Thompson and Sam Hook, cooks, Connie Lute, secretary, Laura Fawcett, building aide, Laura Fawcett. Approve the following volunteers for the 2023-2024 school year, Ann Fay. N, approve contract for superintendent Dr. Sabrina Woodruff for a 5-year term commencing on August 1st, 2024 and continuing through July 31st, 2029. O, approve personnel items A through N as presented.
Move.
Second.
Mrs. Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Arthur,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 7, discussion only. It doesn't look like we have anything for that. Item 8, I'd like to extend an invitation for public participation on non-agenda items only. Okay. Item 9, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second. We wanted to see that.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Arthur,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mrs. Connor.
Yeah.
Mr. Powers.
Yeah.
We're adjourned at 6:21.
You can breathe now.
I know, that's a lot of, I should have read those names before now.